By now, we all know we're getting duped. Everywhere we go, when it comes to food, we're getting scammed. Scammed into also buying a tons of types of sugars when you can make them at home. And today, I've got a couple of treats I'd like to make because 'tis the season. And I don't have any brown sugar and I don't have any powdered sugar, so let's make some and then let's make some treats. All we're gonna need for this is a blender or food processor, some sugar. I've got some organic cane sugar from Costco and some jars and some molasses. I forgot the molasses. Molasses. On. All right. So I don't measure anything because I'm a punk. I'm an anarchist, I guess. So I'm gonna start with the easiest. Well, both of them are easy, but I guess this one would be the easiest. Powdered sugar. I want some powdered sugar to make some hot cocoa. I'm looking for the recipe this season, the hot cocoa recipe. And I'm thinking of putting some powdered sugar in there instead of full, like, granulated sugar. So let's try this out. I'll just start with this amount. I don't know, this was 2 cups, I think. Something like that. Put this aside. And then you just blend it. That's all. That's it. Powdered sugar is just sugar blended. It's just, you just make it finer. I don't like going out of the house, so I'm not gonna go to the store and get powdered sugar and spend, I don't know, $3 or $4 or $5 or $6, I don't know how much it costs, on a bag of powdered sugar when I have a ton of sugar here that I can make into any type of sugar I need. I want to make icing or whatever. Alright, I think this is good. Maybe just a bit more. I usually do this with the food processor. Never tried it with this. There you have it. Powdered sugar. Yep, it's powdered sugar. Try not to make a mess. Oh, this is perfect quantity. There you go. Powdered sugar. Now for molasses, you can like put your sugar a bit finer if you want. If you've got organic cane sugar like me, but I don't mind the texture of like bigger pieces of sugar for my brown sugar. Now when it comes to brown sugar is basically just putting the molasses back into the sugar. Just put some sugar. This should be good. Maybe this. Maybe a bit more. Okay, put some sugar in a bowl. Put some molasses in there. I think it's like the original recipe is like 1 cup of sugar for 1 tablespoon of molasses, something like that. The more molasses you put into your sugar, the darker brown sugar you'll have. I like darker brown sugar. It just contains more iron, so it's just more healthy, I guess. It's still sugar, it's still not healthy, but a bit more iron. give this a good mix. It takes a while to like incorporate the ingredients well. Well, a while. It's like 2 minutes. And there you have it. Brown sugar. I'll try to transfer this into here without making a big mess. Wow. Almost looks like I measured. All right. You can put this, you can put a piece of bread in there to like, so that it doesn't harden up, or you can buy this brown bear. It's a brown sugar bear. You soak it in water, hot water, I think, for about 20 minutes, and then you put this into your brown sugar. But I want to make cookies today, and I'm probably going to use a whole lot of this, so I don't think there'll be much left. Maybe I'll put it in after. I'll see what's left of this. You can also put your brown sugar into the blender or food processor if you want to have a finer texture like the grocery brown sugar, but I don't mind this texture. Maybe just put it in the food processor and blender before you put the molasses so that it's not too sticky. But yeah, here you go. Powdered sugar and brown sugar in under like 5 minutes. So let's make some goodies now. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can do some flavored sugars too, like put some old vanilla beans into a jar of sugar and have some vanilla sugar for cookies. That would be really good. You can do a ton of sugars, like anything, but I only needed brown sugar and powdered sugar today. So I'm boiling some water right now, and I want to test a couple of hot cocoa recipes because I'm still looking for the recipe. I want a hot cocoa recipe that I can just like grab and go. So a powdered mix that I'm gonna put into a mason jar, and then when I want hot cocoa, I can just take a tablespoon or two and have a quick instant hot cocoa. So I'm gonna try first with some powdered milk and some powdered coconut milk to see if I like that. And if the taste is gross, then I'll just go with basic cocoa powder and sugar, and then I'll just put some milk in it whenever I want hot cocoa. But I'd like also, since it's the season, I'd like to try some peppermint flavored hot cocoa. I'm craving that right now. And my cat is having zoomies in the background. Let's try just basic. I'll try like in my cup first and taste it, and then when I like a recipe, I'll just make a big batch in a mason jar. So I'll start with a bit of powdered milk. That's maybe a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. Maybe a teaspoon or so of normal cocoa powder. This is organic cocoa powder from Organic Matters. I'll just try with this basic recipe. Oh, and sugar. Powdered sugar. Maybe a teaspoon. Just a weeny teeny bit of water. And I'll try another one. I've got black cocoa here, but not enough to make a big batch. So I don't think I'm gonna use black cocoa powder. That's the cocoa powder you use for Oreos. So I'll just use the organic cocoa powder I have here. This is the cutest. So we'll start with a teaspoon of cocoa again. And now try coconut milk, powdered coconut milk. And some powdered sugar. Usually when you make hot cocoa, they say like a mix, pre-made mix, they say to like put cornstarch in it. I think it's so that it doesn't harden up or anything, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't really like the thought of having cornstarch in my hot cocoa. I don't know why. Just want some basic stuff. Let's give it a taste. I don't like the taste of powdered milk. I'm not sure that's a winner. Let's try coconut milk. Powdered coconut milk. It's not bad. Not sure I like the powdered coconut milk either. I'll try one with just almond milk. So if ever I choose to have almond milk, I'll just have coconut and sugar in my powder, no milk. Okay, so same thing, about a teaspoon of cocoa powder, about a teaspoon of powdered sugar. I'll taste this one again with the powdered coconut milk. That might be a good one. But the powdered milk, like whole milk, I don't like that one. Blech. So no to regular powdered milk. Okay, it's ready. This is almond milk. Heat it up in the frother. That's not enough cocoa powder and sugar for that quantity, so let's just fix this. I heard that like if you like stir your cocoa powder with a tiny bit of water in your cup at the beginning, you can get rid of all the lumps like that, so that you don't have like floating cocoa powder, and then you add the rest of your water. I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I think I like this one better with the no powdered milk. So I think this will be my default recipe. We'll start with that, and then I want to experiment with adding some chocolate chips and some peppermint candy canes. Okay, now that I know the basic recipe that I like, I need this. I'll try the same thing again, but one with chunks of chocolate in it and one with some peppermint chunks in it. So about a teaspoon in each of cocoa powder, about a teaspoon or so of powdered sugar. If you like it sweeter, just put more. Okay, so I think I'll break the chocolate chunks in this. I hope it'll work. Oh, and I'll start the milk in the frother right away. Might have another name. You can tell me in the comments if I'm not saying it correctly. Yeah, that didn't work. Didn't work that well. Just put like a couple of chunks in there. I'll try a candy cane. I'll try breaking it with this mini blender. Let's hope it's not dead. This was packed, so I just unpacked it just to try this out. Yeah, that worked out well. I don't know if you can see this. This one will be peppermint. I love peppermint flavored stuff, so I really hope this will be good. My chocolate chunks are dark chocolate. So if ever they're not sweetened a lot. So if ever I feel the need to add more sugar, I'll do that. Yeah, the chocolate is melting. I think that would work. I don't know if the peppermint candies are gonna melt. And then milk, or almond milk. Gotta say, the one with chocolate chunks looks a lot creamier. This is peppermint. It doesn't seem like there's any like chunks of peppermint, so I think it melted. And this is the chocolate chunks. It kind of feels creamier. Let's give it a taste. Start with the peppermint. Oh man, this is good. Oh yeah. And the chocolate chunks. Oh, this is so good too. Okay, I'll mix them both. I think a mix of chocolate chunks and peppermint would be very good. That's good. Yeah, I got it. This is the one. Yum yum. All right, I'll make a big batch of this. For the big batch, I'm gonna need more cocoa powder. So I think I did pretty much 50-50 of cocoa powder and powdered sugar in there. I think I'll do the same. I think I put a little more sugar than cocoa powder, but since I'm gonna have the peppermint candies and the chocolate, I think I'll stay with 50-50. That seems like about half of a quart. So this is like the most basic hot cocoa ever, but it's gonna be fun to not have to make my own mix, I guess, every time, and have it already ready. When you buy hot cocoa pre-made in stores, it has a ton of thickening agents and preservatives and gums, and I mean, you don't need all that. It's not necessary. If the planet doesn't produce it, you probably shouldn't eat it. Okay, I think I exaggerated. This is gonna be too full to put the candy canes in it and the chocolate chunks, so I'll get another mason jar. Oh yeah. So I'll just have 2 half quarts. I'll just transfer it to 1 when it's done mixing. It's just gonna be easier to mix in smaller batches. So this didn't work to cut up the chocolate chunks. I might try in this mini blender. Okay, mini blender, let's start with the candy canes. When you buy it in the grocery stores, it has gums and thickeners and stuff like that. So we're making it a bit like better for your health, but it's still not healthy. I mean, cocoa powder is not bad for you, but oops. But all this sugar and the candy canes, it's not meant to be healthy. It's just meant to be a little treat, but make it a little bit better for you. If you're gonna have a treat, just make it better. Could also put some collagen in there. Actually, I think I'll do that. I won't feel as guilty drinking hot cocoa if I put collagen in it. Could put some whey protein, just protein powder. That would be good actually. Or even put some hot cocoa mix in your protein shake. I don't know how many candy canes I'm gonna need. Let's just eyeball this like we eyeball everything. Measure with the heart and the stomach. That's what I do. Oh yeah, I think that's enough. I think I put maybe 6 or 8. I'm not sure. Maybe 8. Blend this up. Okay, I love these blend jet mixers. They're my favorite. This one is just getting a bit old. It's about like, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe 5 years old. It's gonna end up all in the same jar. Okay, and then, oops. I still need that. Chocolate chunks. I hope it's gonna work and not heat them up. That might be too much. We'll try. Blend jets are really good to like take big quantities of stuff. Or not. No. Oh yeah. I don't think this is gonna work, so you know what? I'll just put chunks in there just like that, and it is what it is. It's still gonna be good. I think this is all mixed in pretty well. That's pretty good. And I'll just drink this probably today and tomorrow. Okay. Milk. Almond milk. Whenever I say milk, when it's almond or oat milk, you always have this one guy who's like, have you ever tried to get milk from an almond? It's not milk, whatever. You know what I mean. Almond beverage. We understand. Okay, so I don't know what's too much and what's not enough for a full cup. I'll start. There's a cat hair in there. Of course, if you have cats. I'll start with this heaping spoon. Actually doesn't look like a lot. Like half of another one. I mean, it's a treat. It's still hot. Oh yeah, I'll try the trick to not have chunks. Yeah, that works. Just a bit of water to mix everything, and then you get the rest of your water in there. I wonder if it's good just no milk. I'll taste it without milk, actually. Not bad. That's gonna be better with almond beverage. I love this frother. It's just a cheap one I got on Amazon. EcoWell. Everything in my kitchen is cheap. That's how I like it. Let's try this out. I hope it's the one. super good. Yeah, I could see myself drinking this every day. Thumbs up. Let's make some cookies. I almost forgot a super important step for me. Labeling. Powdered, it's a weird word. Powdered sugar. I'll make pretty labels another day. I usually do this. I'll just do a label with like masking tape temporarily, and then when I get my labeler out, I do all the labels on everything I see that has a green tape. So this is hot cocoa. Oh, I forgot to put collagen in it. Oh well. I can always add some in my cup whenever I feel like I need to feel less guilty. This is brown sugar. I just realized I wasn't recording the whole cookie recipe, so I'll just do another batch. I'll show you what I do with my over or extra dough. This is why I was making cookies. I want a couple for right now to eat, but I also want to fill up my freezer with cookie dough. I just do some little balls like that. Once my parchment paper is full, I'll just do a couple of parchment papers, and I put this on a cookie sheet and I put it in the freezer just like that to like par freeze, I think it's called, I'm not too sure. And then I put them all in a Ziploc freezer bag, and then I can like stack them real good since they're already frozen and they won't stick together. And then whenever I want cookies, I just take like a couple out and I bake them on demand. But yeah, just wanted to show you that I always do big batches like this just to get some extra in the freezer, because I don't always feel like making cookies. So when we have some in the freezer, it's just a lot simpler, and then we're not tempted to buy the crappy ones that aren't good for you in the stores. You make them the size you want. These, well, this recipe, the cookies melt a lot. They don't like, they don't fluff up. When they're fresh, they flatten up. And once they're frozen, I find they fluff up a lot more. They don't like spread as much once you cook them from frozen. All right, finish this up and put these in the freezer, and I'll start another batch to show you. Okay, took a little break. I'm back. My cookie dough balls are all frozen. That's what you want, so you can stack them in a freezer bag and they won't stick together. And there you go. Got a ton of cookie dough for the freezer. And whenever you want cookies, I just take a couple of balls out and cook them up. This is what it looks like. It's going in the freezer. Let's make another batch that I am going to record now. Definitely need the apron. So we're going to start by preheating the oven at 375. Okay, so for this recipe, it's pretty easy. So it's just regular chocolate chip cookie. This is the cookie that everybody always asks me to do whenever I go to events or whatever, tattoo events. This is what I'll do. I'll just bring some of these homemade cookies. Super basic recipe, just a little bit of tweaks here and there to make them even more delicious. So you're gonna start with 1 cup of butter. You don't want to have cold butter, you don't want to have melted butter, you want soft butter, room temperature. Very important. That's the first trick to have them perfect. Then it's 1 cup of brown sugar. I never put the amount of sugar that it says in a recipe, so I'm gonna put like half a cup instead of a whole cup. I find that whenever I use American recipes, and by American I mean from the United States, not from Canada, recipes are always a lot sweeter than what we're used to here. I think Americans like their stuff a bit sweeter, or there's just always more sugar. So I always cut down the sugar by half at least. So 1 cup of brown sugar if you like really sweet, or a half if you're me. So half a cup of brown sugar, mix that in well. Then for the recipe, usually it's half a cup of just normal granulated sugar. I'm using organic cane sugar from Costco. And once again, instead of half a cup, I'm gonna go with a quarter of a cup. Mix that in well. Then you're gonna need 2 room temperature eggs. I hate the texture of egg whites. It's like boogers. Okay, 2 eggs in. Oh, and by the way, I'm always using salted butter. Butter in Canada comes in blocks of 1 pound. So for this recipe, it's actually half of a block. I fluff this up well. And then it's a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. I always wanted to do my own vanilla, but you need alcohol and I don't ever have alcohol in my house, so I have to find a way of doing it like non-alcoholic, if I can say. I think you can do it with glycerine or something, I'm not sure. I have to look that up. There's a little bit more than a teaspoon and a half of vanilla in there, but you never have too much vanilla. Okay, then you want to fluff it. I think it's important to fluff it up. Just makes it feel more light when you eat it. Like a fluffy texture. Okay, so that's it for the wet ingredients. Now you're going to do the dry ingredients. You usually want to do them in a separate bowl, mix them up, and then add them gradually, but I don't like doing the dishes, so I just do it in the same bowl. It's going to be 2 cups of white all-purpose flour. 1, 2. You don't want to have the cups like heaping because you don't want dense cookies. So having less is always better. It's important to like fluff up your flour also before measuring. Now I'm just like keeping the flour on the surface because I'm gonna add a teaspoon of baking soda. Don't want clumps in there. Oops, this is half a teaspoon. I meant to take the teaspoon. Okay, so a teaspoon of baking soda. and then half a teaspoon of salt. I also forgot to add in my hot cocoa mix a little bit of salt. I think it's important to always add a bit of salt to your sweets. It just balances the flavors. You always put salt in sweets. Okay, then I just want to like mix the salt and baking soda with the flour a little bit at the top, and then mix the whole thing together. I find it easier to usually just take a fork for that part. You can do this with a hand mixer or a stand mixer. I just like doing it like this because it's less dishes to do again. All right, so everything is incorporated. Beautiful, beautiful color. You can add in your chocolate chips now. I don't have any more chocolate chips because I took them all for the first batch. So I'm using this dark chocolate. It's 82% cocoa and it's called C'est Moi. It's from France. Just buy this at Costco. It comes in a pack of 6 like this. The oven is preheated. I just broke the bars into little pieces. It comes to about, I would say, half a cup maybe. And I like using dark chocolate because it's not super sweet. And because it's got fiber in it, it's got protein. Dark chocolate is actually super good for you. And honestly, there's enough sugar in there. You don't need to add the, well, that's my taste. I don't think you need to add semi-sweet or sweet chocolate. I think it's sweet enough. Okay, this is well incorporated. This is what it looks like. Obviously, it's just cookie dough. I don't eat raw cookie dough because there's raw onions and not raw onions. There's raw eggs in there, and that grosses me out a lot. I mean, I get it, super good, but ugh, raw eggs are gross. So the oven is preheated. Just want to wash this up a bit. Cookie sheet with parchment paper. I don't measure anything, again, just the eyes, just make some balls. These cookies will flatten up a lot while they're cooking, and when you cook them from frozen, they actually like thicken up and like fluff up a bit. They don't spread as much, but when it's fresh dough like this, they spread a lot and they flatten up a lot. So the balls I make are about, I don't know, a bit more than a tablespoon big. And the other secret to this recipe, so having soft butter is the first thing, fluffing it up is the second thing, not as much sugar, dark chocolate instead of semi-sweet, salty butter. But the most important thing is to undercook them. So you want to cook them about 8 minutes. They're gonna look pretty raw still, but you just transfer the whole sheet on a cooling rack and let them be, and you'll see they'll be so soft. It's incredible. It melts in your mouth and people will want to marry you or something. They're so good. So you put this in the oven, like I said, for 8 minutes. Prepare a cooling rack to put them on to let them cool. If ever you find that after 8 minutes they're still too raw in the middle and it's just, that's not for you, you can always cook them up a bit more. I would say 10 minutes would be the maximum. If you want them a bit more crunchy, they're not going to be super crunchy, but like not as soft, you can even go to 12 minutes. we'll let this cook, and in the meantime I'll prepare those cookies for the freezer and do the same thing as the other batch. So we'll have a lot for the freezer. I'm not complaining. This is going in the freezer like this, and when it's like rock hard in a couple of hours, I'll take them out, put them in the Ziploc bag that I already have cookie dough balls in, and whenever I want cookies I can have them anytime. Okay. They are gonna look uncooked. That's how you want them, because you want them to be super melty. Trust the process. Again, it's your choice if you want to cook them a bit longer. I'll let these cool a bit and I'll come back to you for the taste test. Okay, these have cooled. I had time to do the dishes. Now it's the taste test. It's still really soft. It's beautiful. Taste test. Yep. You'll want to make these for sure. If you end up trying out this simple recipe, please do let me know in the comments. Or if you have better recipes you want me to try even, let me know in the comments also. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And please do consider subscribing and liking this video. It would help me immensely. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye. You can add do consider to c'est quoi? Subscribing, it would melt me. Please do je sais pas capable.